What is up, Voodoo Tribe? It's your girl Naja here, and I'm back with another video. And this video was highly requested after I had dropped my call center series about how I thought that I had a scammer call me on my line or whatever, and how I always used to get calls from scammers and stuff like that. And you guys wanted me to do a video on the scammers, and I am going to be doing separate videos on like different like instances that I remember with scammers. Specifically at Ratchet Corp. Now, like I said, when I did work there, I would talk to a lot of scammers. So obviously I'm not going to be able to know every single story verbatim, but there were major events and like a major person that kept coming into scam. And the main dude that I remember was this guy who was buying stuff from Ratchet Corp and then selling it on Amazon. Like it was a mess. I'm just saying that on camera now so I don't forget that it happened, so you guys can like brush up and remind me later. But he was one of the major events that happened, and I'm going to be talking about that in another video. But this video, I'm just going to be telling you tricks that scammers use that patterns that I've noticed. Like, it's like patterns, bitch. Like, these people just, there are patterns to scamming ways, okay? And I hope whoever watches this video, it'll help you out so that you don't get scammed. And yeah, we're just gonna get right on into it. If you like my videos or you just like me, please give this video a big thumbs up. You know, I'm looking like a anime schoolgirl right now, you know. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, so what I'm basically gonna do is I'm just gonna list a few scams that I have noticed that happen frequently today, that people still fall for today. And I see it all the time on social media, and I don't understand how it's 2019 and people are still falling for it. In the past, there was this scam on social media where it's basically like, oh, if you give me $100, you remember those Instagram accounts where they're like, oh, you give me $100, I'll flip it to 1,000. You give me $300, I'll flip it to 3,000. Those obvious scam. They're gonna take your money, and that's just that. Like, though people got hip to those really quick, and those accounts just started, you know, trickling away, and it just is what it is. Nobody was buying the BS anymore. Another scam that people still fall for whatever reason is the whole, basically, just to be blunt, washing money. Like, somebody will hit somebody up, whether it'll be an email, Facebook, whatever, and be like, hey, my account, I know you don't know me, my account has been blocked, and I need to cash this check. Would you mind cashing this check for me? I'll give you, say if it's a $5,000 check, I'll give you $1,000 of that check. I just really need my money cash. I need to pay my bills or whatever. And in your head, you're like, oh, that's a lick, because all I gotta do is deposit the money and, you know, I'll get my stuff. What happens? You either go to the bank and the check bounces, because most likely that check is from somebody else's checkbook, or the money that they wired is not legit and it's from somebody else's bank account. And you'll go there, either the check will bounce or you'll actually get the money and, you know, do whatever you want to do, and then your bank is going to eventually catch on, and they're going to most likely block your account for fraud or get the authorities involved. Like, that's the main thing a lot of people fall for. Now, there's another scam that's very, very popular. It's broadcasted everywhere, but for whatever reason, people are still falling for it. And I get it, the majority of these people who fall for it are older people, so I get it. But sis, like Aunt Becky, I mean Grandma Lindsay, I know you be watching the TV, I know you be watching Dr. Phil, I know you be watching Montel, I know you be watching Jeremy Kyle, where these old women and these older men get scammed by these overseas love connections, where they're like, oh, I love you, we're gonna get married, I just need you to transfer me some money, darling. Like, oh, the plane ticket didn't go through, and then they're just milking you and milking you and milking you and milking you. I'm gonna show you guys an example, because I get these type of emails to my spam all the time. And guys, if you do get these emails, do not respond to them. Please do not respond to them. If you respond to them, you're just gonna get put into a database of suckers, basically, and you're just gonna get email after email, spam after spam after spam after spam, and it's just never gonna stop. So yeah, guys, please do not open, well, you can open it and read it for shits and giggles if you want to, but do not respond to it. Just don't. Here's one. Child. Dear friend, I came across your email contact prior a private search while in need of your assistance. My name is Aisha Gaddafi, a single mother and a widow with 3 children. And that's another thing you need to notice with these scams. They're often gonna have a sick relative, children with no money, a widow. Like it's a trend that they do. I am the only biological daughter of late Libyan President Colonel Gaddafi. Another thing they like to do, I'm a prince, I'm the heiress of this, I'm the princess of that, my family comes from this, and you know, we're rich and blah 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 blah. I have an investment funds with 27,500,000 United States dollars, and I need an investment manager slash partner, and because of the asylum status, I will authorize you the ownership of the funds. However, I am interested in you for investment project assistance in your country. I'm willing to negotiate investment business, blah, blah, blah. If you're willing to handle this, let me know. Again, I got all this money. All I need for you to do is, you know, just get it for me out of my bank account. And then you know what's gonna happen when you respond to that? They're gonna be like, okay, well, there's a fee to transfer the money, so you need to pay me $500 so you can get some money, but I'm not gonna give you all of it right now because I need to test to see if it works. That's something that they'll do all the time. My name is Rebecca Clark, age 59, wife of late Mr. Richard Clark. We are both British citizen. That's another thing you need to look out for. Bad spelling, like obvious bad grammar, obvious English is not your first language, which is not a bad thing, but if they're really trying hard to let you know like, hey, I am an American, or hey, I'm British, don't worry, I'm not foreign, and blah, 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 and give you like a Caucasian ass name, and then you got the spelling wrong, like, you get what I'm saying? She said her husband worked at an oil company and he died in 2005. Again, dead husband. My husband died after an illness that only lasted 4 days. Before his death, we were both born again Christians. Before he died, he had a cash investment of 15 million United States dollars, which he made me the beneficiary. I'm in a hospital in the UK where I'm undergoing treatment of 2 deadly diseases of breast cancer and cancer of the blood. I did not know that you can have cancer of the blood. I might be wrong, but ciao. I lost my ability to move and walk. Before my husband died, it was his last wish to ensure his 15 mil be used for charity across the world. And that's why I'm trying to ask you to help me get all the money and donate it to orphanages, widows, disaster victims, and fund churches. The doctor will not allow me to talk to anybody. Well, then how are you sending this email? Like, what? Kindly reply to this email as soon as possible and remember to indicate your full name, your address, your telephone. Okay, and I hope you guys would be smart enough to not give anybody your address just willy-nilly. Like, that's no. So I'm not gonna read anymore. I have a lot of those in my spam, but that's just like the gist of like when people email you out the blue or hit you up out the blue asking you to help them. They're sick, their family's sick, they need this, they need that. And that's what used to happen a lot at Ratchet Court, where we would get calls from these scammers saying, oh, well, you know, I have to buy this item because I have cancer, I don't have that long to live, or like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. I had one dude, actually so sick, I had one dude say, it was obviously he was stealing this particular thing, and he said that he had to buy this particular thing because his dad was being buried and his dad wanted to, I can't really say what it was because I don't want to give up. Well, you guys know that Ratchet Corp is retail, so he wanted to wear this item in the casket. That's what this is what this scammer told me, that his deceased father wanted to wear this particular item in the casket and that we're giving him a hard time. He didn't know no type of information about the order whatsoever, but he was just very adamant. Like, you get what I'm saying? Another scam that keeps going on right now that people keep falling for, and I'm really gonna need y'all to stay woke, like I really am. Ladies, listen to me. When you get on Twitter, I haven't seen it anywhere else except Twitter. When you get on Twitter and you see a girl post a wig, like a bomb ass wig, you know, giving scalp, like super cute ass wig, probably the neon color, like, you get what I'm saying? And it says, I'm doing it, and they make a post and they're like, I'm doing a giveaway. All you have to do is inbox me, and no, they'll be like, all you have to do is retweet it, blah, 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 blah. Then they DM you and they're like, hey, you're the winner, you've won. And you're like, oh my God, I've won. Yeah, all you have to do is just pay for shipping and I'll send it over to you. And then you Cash App the person. It's always Cash App, it's always Cash App. It's never PayPal. These people never do PayPal, only Cash App. You Cash App them some stuff, and then they block you. And they do it to at least 20 people in a day. So say if you're telling somebody, okay, it's gonna be $5 for shipping, right? And you do it to 10 people, you jug 10 people a day, you just made 50 bucks in a day just from logging onto Twitter, being a scammer. Like, guys, if somebody ever tells you the only thing you have to do is pay for shipping, it's a scam. Unless it's a big site, like maybe you're on Forever 21 and you know, there's some brushes on sale. I don't know why you would buy makeup brushes from Forever 21, and it was free and all you had to do is pay for shipping, then okay, I get it. But if you're like if you're just buying something off of Twitter, or you know, there's a giveaway going on, even some YouTubers, if a YouTuber does a giveaway and they're like, all you have to do is pay for shipping, I would be kind of sus about that. I'm sorry, like I would. Not trying to make you distrust people that you follow. I'm just saying that's sketchy as hell. Now, another thing that I want you to know about how these scammers get your information, you guys need to make sure that when you register to vote, your voting registry will show your address online. So if you're the type of person who lives in a house and you're in that house for good, like you're not moving anymore, or if you stay with your parents at the moment and your parents are like grounded, they have a home, that's where they are, if you type in your name and your city, your address is gonna pop up. So make sure that with your voting registry or your voting registration, like you can contact those websites and tell them to take your information down, because at Ratchet Corp, they don't do this anymore, so I'm okay saying this because in the past they stopped doing this process, but what we used to do is whatever name was on the order, we would Google their name with that address, and like 7 times out of 10 all your information pops up, your phone number, who your auntie is, who your dad is, and this is just Google. Like we had other software, but this is just us plugging stuff into Google. So you guys really need to protect your information. What you need to really do to not get scammed is check your bank statements. Like, check your bank statements. Seriously, have an alert set up so you have alerts coming to your phone every time a purchase is made, so you know what's going on. And another thing is to set up a limit of how much money is allowed to be withdrawn from your checking at a time, so that you know, like, okay, I know for a fact I'm not gonna spend more than, like me personally, I know for a fact I'm not gonna spend more than $2,000 at once, ever. So why do I need my limit to be $10,000? So if somebody, you know, wants to run my shit up, they got all my money. Like, you get what I'm saying? So check your limits and do stuff like that. Something that used to happen a lot at Ratchet Corp is that these scammers would actually have your card number, and we're about to get to how they get your card number, okay? So have your card number, they can Google your address, because that's the only way that anything's gonna get through the system is if stuff matches. So, like, you know how when you try to buy something on Amazon and if you don't have the right billing address, it won't even charge your card? Like, it's that type of thing. So they'll have your whole card number, your right address, and then they'll call in to the company that they're scamming from. They'll just be like, oh, I need to change my address to XYZ. And most of the time they change their address to a shipping company. Some of you guys may know, some of you guys may not. It's basically like, it's completely legal, but there are these companies that are mainly like in Miami or like Doral or like not just Florida, but maybe like New York, Washington, California, like by water. And each place will mainly ship things to different countries. It's basically, if you're not in the US and you want to buy stuff in the US without paying customs and all that shit, you send your stuff to a shipping company and then they'll send it to you. So say if you're Russian and you want some Fenty Beauty, but you don't want to pay the US taxes, so you'll buy Fenty Beauty and in the shipping address you'll put in that shipping company, and then that shipping company will take it and send it to you, to your country, but it's anonymous. So you'll probably have like a PO box or something with that shipping company, but it's anonymous. Like if you use that company, we're not gonna know. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, nobody's gonna know regardless of what company you work for or anything. Even like, we're just not gonna know where you live at. So that's another thing that scammers use, is like, they'll use all your correct information, but then they'll go behind it and be like, hey, change it to XYZ so they can get their shit. How they get your credit cards. So basically, if you go to the gas station, make sure you wriggle the, what's it called? The card reader. I don't even use the card reader at the gas station. I walk my happy ass up to the clerk and I pay for it there, because it's really, really bad in Florida though. It's really bad in Florida, the scam and stuff. There are people in Florida who that's their 9 to 5, scamming. Like, I've met a few scammers before, honestly, that do the credit card thing. So basically what they do is you'll put your card in somewhere that it has been tampered with, and it's a card reader, and they'll take the card reader and they'll have all of your information. They'll have the numbers on the front, the expiration, and the numbers on the back, right? So what they'll do is they'll take that information, maybe go like on Walmart.com, BestBuy.com, Amazon, stuff like that, and they'll buy a prepaid Visa card. And with that is that's also giving them anonymity, because they can just send the money to pay for that card. So on your billing statement, all you'll see is, damn, $500 is gone, but you're not going to be able to track the person, because if somebody stole your card and they go to Macy's and they go to Chick-fil-A and they go to blah blah blah, you could see the locations of where they're at and you could follow them and figure out where your shit's at, right? But when you just buy a prepaid Visa, you don't know what they're spending your money on. So I don't know people like this anymore, but I knew people who would have like a stack of prepaid Visas like this big, just different prices on it, and just swipe, 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 swipe. You don't, that's like what, like 60 different people whose money you bugged at some point. So guys, please make sure you wriggle everything you put your card into. Don't like, and if you're paying for stuff online, make sure it's a secure site. I highly advise going through PayPal, like connecting your card to PayPal and then checking out with PayPal. And if they don't have PayPal checkout, then that's just not for you, because PayPal is so secure. At Ratchet Court, when I was dealing with disputes, PayPal don't play. PayPal does not play at all whatsoever. Like, PayPal will penalize a company if a customer says that their shit's been compromised. Like, PayPal does not play. PayPal is so secure. I use PayPal personally. Like, use it, utilize it, trust me, you will not regret it. Another thing that they might do, the scammers might do when they do get your card, is they might go out and buy gift certificates and gift cards and stuff like that, so they just don't, you get what I'm saying? You don't see the paper trail. So if any of y'all out there ever have a friend that always has prepaid cards, always blowing, or if you see somebody on Instagram always blowing a bag, but they always have like Visa cards, and like, you know, they're scamming. they're scamming, sis. They're scamming. I'm trying to think, what else could I help you guys with, just from what, oh, when you get phone calls, that's a big one. When you get phone calls and there's somebody on the phone who's obviously not, okay, let me say it something else. Somebody calls you on the phone and they say, hi, my name is John Smith, or hi, my name is Rebecca Brown, but they have like a dialect, or like, you get what I'm saying, and it sounds really noisy in the background. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. And I'm not trying to stereotype anything, but the majority of the calls we get in the US is the IRS scam that unfortunately a lot of older people fall for, and it's mainly outsourced from India. People in India will call here with a Washington DC area code, and they'll tell you that you owe the IRS. The IRS will never call you. The IRS will send you stuff in the mail. Don't give anybody any of your information over the phone, period. No social security, no last digits of the card, nothing. Because even with the last digits, this is another thing scammers will do. And as to why, like, even if you do all the things that I told you in this video to protect yourself, there's this one thing that it just can't be helped. Like, it can't. It's called phishing. So say you drop a receipt in the parking lot and there's the last 4 digits of your card. There is literally machines that people buy that will phish. They'll put 1000000 last 4. Oh, that's not it. 20000 last 4. Oh, that's not it. 300, like, and it just keeps going and going and going and going until it finally phishes and it hits. Because there are some websites that do not require the CVC or the security code, and do not require expiration date. All they want is the card. So that reader will just get your numbers and skim it, and you could have been doing everything right, but somebody just got you. Like, you just got. Like, it just is what it is. Like, that's the only thing where you just like can't prevent it from happening. With the phones, when people call you and it's an automated message trying to, you know, be like scam you or whatever, do not say the word yes. Do not say the word yes. They will record you saying the word yes and use it to their advantage to get what they want and do whatever and be like, oh, well, this person gave us consent with that recording of you saying yes. Like, don't say yes to anything. Don't say anything that's like giving confirmation. Don't say I agree. Don't say yes. Don't say sure. Don't say like nothing. Like, just say no comment. What is this about? Why? What is this call about? Like, don't say yes or no. Just keep prying them. Keep being like, what is this call about? What is this call about? Yeah, I think that's it, guys. If you guys have any more questions in the comments, I'll answer them for you, no problem. The only thing I cannot answer is like how Ratchet Corp currently, you know, does stuff, mainly because I don't know, and things in the fraud department always change to keep people on their toes because, you know, people get fired a lot at Ratchet Corp, and you can't have somebody with that knowledge going out on the street and being like, oh, well, I know how your system works, so I'm gonna bypass it, right? So it changes a lot, but still, I just don't feel comfortable like giving out that information on how it worked back when I worked there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and another thing, if somebody calls you and you hear like a, like in the, in front of it, like they call you and it'll just be like, hey, don't hang up, sis, hang up. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Ask me any questions you'd like in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.